ladies, welcome back to the channel. It is around 1 o'clock. We just got back from town. Sissy's napping. I was just planning out my week and I wanted to start the vlog off for you ladies. I have a few things planned. We already did our healthy morning routine. This morning was a little stressful. My phone broke a couple days ago, so trying to do errands and do all the things without a phone is quite difficult. Hopefully it'll be fixed tomorrow. Right now I want to take advantage of the time that she's sleeping and paint my table and chairs outside. I'm trying to make it more cozy on the porch, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint that. And I got my wrist and ankle weights today in the mail, and I've been wanting to get these for a while now because they truly make a difference. I got the 5-pound. You use these specifically when you're doing like certain exercises, mainly like Pilates exercises and core for stability. And there's one main exercise I'll show you ladies tomorrow when I do my morning movements that really helps with strengthening your core and closing that gap. But yeah, and it really helps strengthen bone density. It's the same concept as the weighted vest. Like, it really helps with strengthening your muscles and making your core and stability and your posture have to work in place. So I also want to start dabbling into, and I want to get my corset back out, and I need to tighten it up. Maybe I'll do that tonight. I'll cut it and sew it and reel it in a little bit because I do want to reminder to strengthen my posture. Now I know there's a lot of people have different opinions on corsets and if they work or if they don't, or like whether they're good for your organs or whatnot. I just want to test it out just to see and if it helps at all. So other than that, I'm trying to think of what else is on my to-do list. I've really been focusing a lot on anti-inflammatory diet for a while now, but I've never been super strict on it. Like, I'll still eat hamburger, but honestly, I think hamburger messes with my stomach. So I just want to get like oysters, cabbage juice. I need to get like bile salts or like Tudka, just because where I don't have a gallbladder. Last time when I did my fast, I had some stomach issues when I reintroduced food, and I learned that if you don't have a gallbladder, then that constant trickle of bile in your stomach. So I just need to be aware of that going forward and fasting, just to take it slow. But yeah, I've just been focusing on like digestive enzymes, and keep these two in my purse at all times, just in case, like if I'm out. And here I'll just grab them every time I eat. They're the digestive enzyme, the betaine hydrochloride, and I still need to get the Tudka, which is like a bile salt. So those three, unfortunately, it's something that you have to do when you don't have a gallbladder to prevent bloating, but also just like digestive and stomach issues, just to help break down food and help things run smoothly and put less stress on like your pancreas and your liver. And it's just, yeah, this whole thing. So if you don't have a gallbladder, maybe you'll benefit from this. I'm gonna go ahead and do a few homemaking things around the house: dishes, fill the water container, laundry. So I'll probably put on like a YouTube video or a podcast and go ahead and go paint and just enjoy some sunshine, get some vitamin D. Like I talked about in my last video, I really am trying to live the everyday mundane with a sense of purpose and meaning, and live life through the lens of Jane Austen. And I really liked Caitlin's video, was how to have a feminine mindset, but it really touched on this subject and how we can adopt that feminine and Jane Austen mindset. So I'll link that below if you ladies aren't familiar with her channel. But yeah, I hope you ladies enjoy today's video and you find some homemaking motivation and you get inspired as homemakers. And before I get started, I'm gonna make myself some lunch and then we will get on with today's activities. So let's just go and get started. So sometimes when I'm out and about, they sell these rotisserie chickens like hot and ready. And if I'm like hungry or on the go, I'll just like snack on it in my car. But it's really nice, quick and easy, just to have like some chicken breast on hand, and I already made myself some sweet potatoes. These are huge, so I'm just gonna have a half of one. And then some chicken, and then I'll probably use my Yum Yum sauce, the healthy fat, because I'm out of avocado right now. I haven't tracked in a while, like on my app, for my calories and things, because I pretty much got it down packed. Like, I also just try to eat intuitively and listen to my stomach while I'm eating, and stop before I'm like that stuffed full feeling. But in the beginning I did have to track just to be aware of how many calories are in foods. and just eyeball like what is 5 ounces and how many calories that is. So I've been getting a lot of questions actually about my weight loss journey and what do I do, and of course you can go back and look at all my vlogs and really see the little changes and transitions. But I was thinking about making like a dedicated video on that. So if you have any questions as to what I've been doing or anything specific that you're struggling with, please leave those comments below this video, and then I'll start to make notes. I will answer those questions in that video. Still some things that I would like to accomplish before then, but I would like to approach that video with more of like the mind, body, soul. It's not just about food, but you know, stress and all these things. It's a mindset. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and have my lunch. We'll start painting. So something I like to do is just have a shot of apple cider vinegar. I was out of my sauce, so I just ended up getting a piece of cheese, so that will do for my healthy fat. Something I don't do is drink while I eat. Very little, like a sip or something, but from what I understand, it makes it more difficult for your body to naturally produce those digestive enzymes, and it kind of dilutes it. I think in the beginning, if I were to know all of the things that I know now and do all the healthy habits that I do now, I would kind of almost feel like, is that necessary? Like, are all those little things necessary? It's truly all those little micro healthy habits that make a difference overall. Just like having apple cider vinegar and having some digestive enzymes and tracking your food in the beginning. There's a gnat. And then it just becomes second nature. You don't have to think about it, or you don't have to think about all these 100 different steps. It's just like brushing your teeth. Remind yourself of that when you're on your healing and healthy weight loss journey. That in the beginning it might seem a little bit overwhelming, and but you'll get the hang of it, really. Like I said, it'll just become natural, something that you don't have to think about. It'll become much more easier, and you'll get a rhythm and a routine to it. All right, let's go eat. Also, something I like to do is to always eat my protein first, like the first bite. That'll signal to my body not to raise like insulin and have that blood sugar spike. So always start with the first bite being protein. And I also focus on fiber. So protein and fiber together, and then a healthy fat after.
That our love is real. Maybe we should hurry up and seal the deal.
Alright ladies, it's a few hours later and I am getting ready to head out for our Christian meeting, and this is my outfit for today. Cute. So bedtime will probably be a little later this evening, and then hopefully my goal is to wake up at 5 a.m. So I just wanted to end the evening vlog here, and I will see you ladies tomorrow morning. Good morning ladies. So I'm just out here reading my magazine and having my breakfast and doing my Bible study. Came up, so I feel like I'm in a Jane Austen novel. I wanted to say good morning, and I have yet to do my morning movements, so that's probably what I'll transition over into now. Sissy is still sleeping and it's like 7 o'clock, so that usually happens on Wednesday mornings. Just planning out my day and just wanted to continue the vlog, bring you ladies along. And what I like to do in the morning is just wash my face, put on a little moisturizer, and then whatever excess of the blush brush that I have it's on, I just dab it on, and then I'll just do like a quick lip liner for when like I'm filming and things, but I don't have makeup on yet. And I just splash some water on my hands and I just scrunch my hair up like that. It's important to feel beautiful even when you first initially wake up, and not just to have your hair in a rat bun and scrub clothes. Just, put yourself together for yourself and just make yourself feel elegant and beautiful even when you wake up. So yeah, I wanted to share a little bit about what she wrote. It says, eventually everything came to a head, and it wasn't until I decided to slow down and make some changes in my professional life that the experience from the past came flooding back, nearly impossible to cope. As a result, my nervous system took a serious hit, and I went through my day highly activated and on edge. My body and mind no longer felt a part of me, but rather separated outside of my control. The thing about trauma, whether you know it or not, is that the impact of what you went through stays in your body, waiting and growing in power, ready to take over when triggered. It's a frightening condition of the past. Human beings are incredibly resilient, making it easy to push everything down to the level of our subconscious, out of necessity for survival. However, if we don't acknowledge or address the issues, the severity of what happened can have detrimental effects on our personal well-being and health. Even those of us who have dedicated our lives to helping others aren't immune. And then she goes on to talk about how through self-awareness and mindfulness and through a support system, she was ready to transition over into the healing phase. Another reason why I like these mantra magazines, because they just give personal experiences, and they talk about healing and taking care of yourself, mind, body, soul. And I found that to be true in my experience through my healing journey. There's a lot of things that were out of my control physically, and there would be these constant ruminating, intrusive thoughts. I would go for runs just to try and escape from them, but even then, there were some times where I just held my brain, and one time I remember I just fell to the floor on my knees and I just screamed as loud as I could because they wouldn't stop. That's why I always say how important it is to truly take it one day at a time, hour by hour. Never give up hope, that one day you will transition over into feeling more healed and more fully developed, and then you can help others. I think it's so easy to look at people's lives and think that, they've had it good or they've never went through trauma, but you can see the beautiful life that I live, and it's because of God, that He's blessed me with this beautiful life. But it has taken me years, more self-aware with my thoughts and my emotions and things that I've suppressed. And I don't talk about it much, but being in my past relationship for 10 years, and verbal and emotional abuse and sometimes physical abuse did take its toll when I met my husband, and he had to experience a lot of, emotional vomit. And slowly, with each passing day, you unwrap a new set of unlimited beliefs, and you try to replace those. And growing up in a toxic environment, to my mom and dad or stepdad always having knockdown dragouts and just worrying about what's going to happen, and hiding in your room, and going into a relationship that was toxic, to build your self-confidence, to build your self-worth again, to learn how to take care of yourself and nourish yourself. And ever had experienced trauma in the past with your family or a relationship, and you haven't begun that healing process out of fear of what you could feel. And I think that is why so many people suppress and avoid the silence and the quiet and the mindfulness, is because they're not able to process their emotions. Because as she talked about, it will come to a head, and we'll start to experience those physical effects, because your body is telling you and signaling to you, you need to process this, you need to heal from this. And if you don't, then it can become into a disease. All right, well, I'm gonna go do my morning movements, and then by that time Sissy will probably be up, and then we'll get ready to go for our morning walk. And then when we get back, we'll probably get ready and go to town. I have to get a few things and probably take the kids to the splash pad, because we haven't done that this week. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the vlog so far, and let's just go and get started. 2, 3, go! going on our walk. I was thinking this morning when I was doing my morning movements, I was thinking how many people might think like, how does she get so much done? Or, you know, with kids and things, I've learned is that kids need to know boundaries. They need to learn how to accept, just like we have to learn to accept. You know, in the beginning, obviously it's going to be a little bit challenging for them to learn, like this is mommy's time, like I'm doing my morning movements or I'm doing my Bible study. But the training is well worth it because they learn that the routine is, you know, mommy does her morning movements. Yes, sometimes they try to, you know, get in there and do them with me or things, but I just gently remind them like this is mommy's time, go play. It's difficult in the beginning, or it's like, oh, they won't let me do anything. In the beginning, a lot of the times, like I would feel that way. Like even my husband would say stuff like, oh, they wouldn't let me or something. And I think it's just transitioning over into stepping into that authoritative role and being confident in it, and to do it with kindness but firmness, and to set boundaries, and they will learn and they will accept. And I think it's just really important too for them to learn like they don't get everything they want when they want, and to not feel ashamed or guilty. The easy way out is for moms just to give up and be like, oh, whatever, just do whatever you want, or I'm not going to be able to do what I want. And that is dangerous because it gets you in that victim mentality. So I just wanted to share that if you ever feel like, how, you know, oh, you do so, it doesn't mean that I'm not met with challenges or interruptions or detours, but I just don't give up and I continue and persevere, and I encourage you to do the same. Alright ladies, so we're back from our walk and I made the kids breakfast, got ready, and we're getting ready to head out to town to go to the market. And I'm going to transfer some of my footage over on my laptop. That way I can maybe do some editing while they play at the splash pad. As usual, I like to pick up the house before we go so I can come home to a clean house. But we need to get a little bit of groceries as well. So quickly go ahead and do that, and then we'll go ahead and head out. We're finishing the last chair, and I'm letting Josiah help. He's doing a good job. Alright ladies, I just came out here on the porch while the kids playing sandbox in the pool, and I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I've been experiencing, trying to cultivate this more whimsical, optimistic, living my life through the lens of Jane Austen, and something that is a reoccurrence in my life that often tries to derail me from having that, and that is the little annoyances in life. After I talked to you in my last video about cultivating this, not shortly after that, my phone ended up breaking. You know, one thing after another, as it usually is. As some people say, you know, when it rains, it pours. Like just unexpected, like your car declines for no reason, you get a flat tire, your coffee order constantly gets messed up, dealing with stomach issues or health issues, leaving your bags at the car outside Walmart because your toddler decides to have a tantrum because he couldn't get a toy. Yes, that happened the other day. As these things kept happening, as they usually do, like I was driving to the market after something happened, and I was like, I just felt so discouraged and defeated because I knew that this was my intention to cultivate this. I just almost felt like, you know what, I am so sick and tired, like tired of being positive, I'm tired of being optimistic. Somebody was blaring the Journey song where it said, don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling. And I was like, really? Really, God? So he was just like kindly reminding me, it's something you have to fight for. It's something you have to recognize that this is going to be a fundamental challenge and obstacle in your day-to-day life. And I think the sooner we acknowledge that and accept that, it'll be a lot easier at that moment accepted. Like, okay, like things are not going to plan. I'm not going to spiral and let it derail my whole day. It's not so much like the kids. It's just like day-to-day interruptions and annoyances, and like, so what I try to do is just look for opportunities to how I can learn from this, how I can grow from this, and how I can shift my perspective on this. So with my phone breaking, it actually was really nice. For the last 3 days, I've had an opportunity to deplug, disconnect, and just rest and be more present. And it gave me an opportunity to be more aware of like my dependence on my phone. For the coffee order, I mean, if you're a coffee snob, I don't know what to tell you, but you could just look at it as like, okay, this is like a new flavor that I typically wouldn't get. It was nice to try it out. Focus on what you can control. What I can control is my attitude. Add a little sense of humor in there, but I understand because it's like when you're trying to consciously and intentionally cultivate this, trying to strengthen this muscle and you keep getting injured. And then obviously practicing gratitude. I'm thankful that I have a husband who send it away and get it fixed, and I'm thankful that I'm actually able to get coffee. Yeah, sure, I get a flat tire and it's 90 degrees out. We have a little bit of time that maybe we normally wouldn't to just sit here under this shade tree, and I think that's where you develop this like resilient mindset. Nothing can derail you. Yeah, these things happen like on a daily basis and it's annoying. So I just want to share that because I think that's something that all of us struggle with like every day. These little detours that can really, like I said, derail us off the road, make us spiral into this negative mindset. I think it's just, again, like a muscle. The more you strengthen it, the more you become stronger, being more self-aware. Thoughts, I've laxed a little on, I guess, pulling the weeds. I've let the weeds grow and then I look and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many weeds, where do I start? I felt like in my garden. But if I would have just maintained it, you know, a little here every day, then it won't be so overwhelming and it won't get out of hand, and then we won't find ourselves like, how do I even get out of this? All right, well, Dad should be getting home soon, so I'm gonna try and think about something to make for dinner and just clock out a little bit from vlogging and be more present. So I will see you ladies probably tomorrow. Good morning, ladies. I'm just warming myself up some bone broth. I've heard it's really good for like repairing of the gut lining. So that's what I've been trying to do, is focus on like repairing of the gut and prevent leaky gut. So I know I used to take colostrum, but I'm trying to do things naturally so I don't have like a bunch of supplements. This is one of the things that I've read that really helps with that. So I'm gonna drink some bone broth and go do some Bible study. All right, ladies, I wanted to share with you something I do before I work out. Sorry about that. Is to take 2 dates. These are an excellent source of sugar and carbs to fuel your workout. It's like a pre-workout. They're so amazing. I feel like I can push harder and go longer. I'm always trying to find nature's alternative to, you know, the traditional medicine or supplements. So if I can do that, like with the bone broth, and then like for this, it's like a pre-workout. So I'm gonna take these and we're gonna go for our morning walk. I have their breakfast all made. I just made eggs, toast, and sausage, and some apple juice. I usually try to make like their breakfast something that can keep them occupied while I myself get ready. So I'm gonna go back and do my makeup. Josiah's still in the bathtub, so I'm gonna get him out. All right, ladies, it has been a few hours. Sissy is down for a nap, and we went this morning and visited my husband. He's remodeling a house uptown, so we just went to visit him. He's been leaving early before the kids wake up, and Josiah was asking like, where's Dad? And so I'm just trying to be intentional and make sure that Josiah can like see him throughout the day, so he can get that quality time. So we went there, and then I organized all my supplements, took them out. So I'm just gonna keep this in my purse. I'm getting ready to have myself some lunch. I just made myself some tuna, and this is almost 50 grams of protein right here. And then just for some fiber, I did half a sweet potato and some celery, and then some dark chocolate covered almonds for my healthy fats. So I'm gonna go set out on the patio and maybe do a little bit of editing and have myself some lunch. I didn't film much this morning because it's usually the same thing as far as our morning routine goes. Yeah, I'm gonna go have my lunch and we'll see what else we can get into. So I am just sitting here. I'm making some capsules for my supplements, and I want to later on, we're getting a lot of cucumbers, so I'm gonna try and pickle them. I'm not for sure, I've never done that before, but I'm sure it's not that hard. I have one of those electric suction things for on top of the mason jar. A company sent me years ago, so I'm gonna use that. Maybe find like a really good seasoning recipe. I ended up doing a weighted workout earlier, so that was good, but my goal is to start doing more like aerobic exercises. They say to change things up so your body doesn't get used to like the same old workouts like walking or weight training, just to change things up. So my goal is to start maybe once a week, go to our local pool and do laps. It's usually open in the evening time, so maybe I can just ask my husband to put the kids to bed one evening, start doing that for the month of August. So that's my goal before fall hits. Now we have had some cooler mornings and it has me longing for fall and the fall crisp mornings, and then the pumpkin pie, and yeah, I can't wait. Okay, but we need to slow down because it's still summer Yeah, I just wanted to end the vlog for you ladies, and I hope you enjoyed it and you found some homemaking motivation and you got inspired as homemakers, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye.